Good morning, everyone. I hope that you are doing well. I guess good afternoon for those of you who are on the East Coast. Everyone just check your teeth. They're like mine. Then you got some lipstick on them. How are you guys doing? Pop in the comment section. Let me know how you're doing and let me see who's with me. It's always interesting being on this side of the camera. And I desperately miss all of you, and I cannot wait till we're together again. Interesting conversation this morning for those of you who are like me and you're in between that menopausal phase. My husband and I got to have a discussion today about bacterial vaginosis. So, yeah, just really interesting conversations as we get older. And you know how when you're pregnant, no one ever it's almost like this sisterhood that we can't share all of the truth with each other because who really wants to know about the net panties that you have to wear, or the fact that you're not only going to be putting a diaper on your child, you're going to have to wear a diaper for all of the stuff that happens down there in your nether regions. Well, I don't think that we tell each other all the stuff that's going to happen when you hit that 50 range either. So just fair to say to all of you, Mama Boot Camp's advice is make sure that you can laugh at yourself, because the smells and the changes and all of that really require you to be able to laugh at yourself. So start practicing now. So if you can relate, pop me in the comment section and let me know. I stink with you, Barb. Michelle says, ha, 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 ha. I know, right? Maxine says, doing so much better since the group call yesterday, right? And Maxine, I am so proud of you for just ever since you joined the boot camp, you have been consistent showing up on our live group coaching calls, and what a difference. So great job. Michelle said, hey, love the lip color. Thank you. So when you guys join, tell me hello. I'd love to know that you're with me. So we have a lot to go through today. 15 main points about anxiety in quarantine. One of the things that I want to share with you is I'm presenting this today so that you can be sharing it with your practice members as well, so that you can take inventory yourself on the anxiety that you're experiencing. So, the best way to teach somebody is to learn it yourself and to do it yourself so that you can help others. I'm super excited that Dr. Michelle Schwinn is with us today. So Dr. Schwinn has kind of battled anxiety throughout her life, and years ago took a natural supplement that really helped her. And I never knew about this supplement. And a couple of years ago, we were at the 10X Growth Con in Las Vegas, and both extremely inspired to grow our businesses and to further the purpose that we have on this planet. And long story short, she knew that the supplement that she had before was out of circulation, that it was no longer being made. And so she took it upon herself to do a ton of research. Long story short, came up with her own formulation as a chiropractor and as someone who has struggled with it and tried lots of different things, created her own product called Serenaquil. Got it bottled and the whole 9 yards. And she is going to, Michelle will put the link in here, but I just want to let everybody know that you can get Serenaquil for your office and for your practice members. Go to serenaquilforproviders.square.site/, and there you can get 5 bottles, a desktop display, 20 brochures, and an email sequence for your list. So the email sequence just educates practice members about anxiety, about Serenaquil, and about how you can help them. So all of that is done. So Michelle, when you can, pop that in. So I'm super excited. As well, I called Michelle this morning and I said, hey, you know what I would encourage you to do is provider who sells Serenaquil offered to do a Facebook Live with them. So can you imagine, you'll be able to sell Serenaquil in your office and do a Facebook Live for your audience with the creator of Serenaquil. So I think that that's super cool. Michelle just popped that in the comment section. So grab hold of that. All right, so let's get started. You know, it really is a frightening time, and we are in the midst of a worldwide pandemic. Obviously, this isn't something that any of us anticipated, although if you watch that video, Plandemic, Fauci talked about it back in 2017. He said, there will be a surprise pandemic that, hits the world in a few years. Well, here it is. So some people knew about it, but we did not. And so what it's done is it's really required all of us to have to go within, which is great. I mean, that's part of our chiropractic philosophy, right? Is above, down, inside out. It's all from the inside. So there are, for many people, the pandemic, and I have said this before, I think that one of the big reasons why this has been such a difficult time for individuals is not necessarily the uncertainty, or not just necessarily, I don't know what's happening in the future or all of the changes. I think that our paradigms have been challenged at every level. You know, if you're like my husband and I were, life could get really, really different if this forced vaccine thing happens, in which case you can't use public transportation. Perhaps our licenses would be threatened. Like in order to renew your driver's license or your chiropractic license, you got to get a vaccine. I don't know if that's going to happen. I can only imagine that Gates and his counterparts will try to do everything that they possibly can in order to make sure we're all vaccinated. And so we're having real big discussions about that. And just FYI, no, I will not take the vaccine. So that may mean that only those who take the vaccine that could fly here, that I'll be able to see, which that would make me really, really sad. But we will pivot in ways that we can all still be together. So the very first thing about anxiety and this pandemic is certainty. For many people, the uncertain surrounding of coronavirus is the hardest thing to handle. We don't really know. I think that we've been taught so much to fear the virus, right? To fear what's happening, and now like fearing each other. I was out yesterday. I was at the grocery store, and we don't wear masks. There are people in Alaska who do. I have not worn a mask, and I am not going to wear a mask. And like just the dirty looks that we get. And so I just always smile back at them and think, I'm so sorry that you feel you have to do that, and that you are now angry at me that I'm not following in line. So number one is certainty. And so I encourage you, if you're struggling with anxiety, make a list of what you do know for certain, and then make a list of all of your blessings. And that will really help turn your uncertainty to certainty. What do you know for sure? Like, I know for sure that I'm loved by God. Number two, I know for sure that my family loves me. I know for sure that tomorrow there's going to be another day. Well, I mean, pretty confident. I know for sure that I have a tribe of unbelievable chiropractors and chiropractic sisters who are on this same journey with me. Like all of the things that you know for sure, even if you have to write them out every day, it is a really strong step towards beating anxiety. And then the next part of that is make a list of all of your blessings. In what ways are you being blessed? I mean, the very fact that we all get to be together today, I consider that a blessing. The fact that we have one another in the boot camp. I haven't been given permission to share yet, but one of our own lost her dad this morning. He passed away. And I called her immediately when she told me, and I prayed with her, and through tears, she just said, I could never have gotten through this. I'd never be where I was without you and the tribe. And I have the confidence as I go through this that I'll be okay. So, we never know how far reaching something we may think, say, or do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. So I just, I say thank you to all of you who have showed up and who continue to show up. So the first thing to beat anxiety is certainty. Make a list of the things you're certain of and make a list of your blessings. Number 2, stay informed, but don't obsessively check the news. And I would encourage you with staying informed is when you look to be informed, look to see how you can be part of the solution. I've said this many times over the last couple weeks, that see yourself as in like a football game, right? If you're on the field, you can make plays, you can affect the outcome, right? Like if you were a player, you could catch the ball, you could run the ball, you could block, you could, do a myriad of things that players on the field do. But if you're a fan, you're just sitting there watching the action happen. You really don't have an impact per se. So the ones that are involved are the ones that are impacting the outcome. So stay informed and use that habit of being informed to see how you can be a part of the solution. Number 3, stick to trustworthy sources. I really like The High Wire by Del Bigtree, as well. Dr. Lyons Weiler, he has the Institute for Pure and Applied Knowledge, and he's the guy that found that middle fragment of the coronavirus in its genetic sequencing. So be really smart about where you're getting your information. I don't know if you've noticed that there's a particular narrative that comes across the secular news that we're supposed to believe, and yet things don't necessarily add up. And I don't want to get into the whole fake news and whatnot. And I encourage those of you who are looking elsewhere and somebody calls you a conspiracy theorist, I would ask them, what is the definition of that? Because here is what I understand about conspiracy is that the only reason it's considered conspiracy is because it's not what is repeated over and over again. That doesn't make it untrue, right? And just because you keep repeating a lie doesn't make that true. So be confident in what you observe and in what you the conclusions that you have drawn. I always go back to like, what is true? What is true? Like, I know my body can be well. What is true? I know how to take care of my body. Like just those things of certainty, whether it's corona or anything else, these are the steps that I take in order to be well. Maxine, do you like naturalnews.com? You know what? I can't say yes or no because I don't know enough about it, but I will certainly be checking it out with that suggestion by you. Number 4, limit how often you check for updates. Do you know that checking our phone, it stimulates the same response in our brain as gambling, as pulling the lever if you were playing the slot machine, like, oh, just one more pull and let me see what's going to happen. And every time we check our phone, we stimulate the same response in our mind. So I think I went over this last week. Trap yourself into success. If social media is really wrapping you in, take it off your phone. Make it that you actually have to go to your laptop or your desktop in order to look at social media. And then make sure you always have an agenda when you go on social media. The scrolling thing is a waste of your time. I promise you cannot justify that you're doing it for your business or you're doing it for your family or you just want to stay informed. No, you go somewhere and get the information. You specifically, when you go on social media, have a strategy that you are going to fulfill while you are on social media, fulfill it and get off. And I would encourage you too to track your screen time and compare it to your anxiety levels. Like it's just facts. Maxine said, that is the best. I took it off my phone. It's life-changing, right? I mean, it really is. And have periods of times that you do like a social media fast. Here's the deal. It's all going to be there when you get back. So give your brain, your heart, your mind an opportunity to just have a break from it. And if you have children, I'm going to get into the dangers of screen time for kids. It's really bad. So as parents, I know that social media makes us do the comparison game. I'm a really strong woman and I still do the comparison game. And it's even worse for kids. So track your screen time and compare it to your levels of anxiety. And I encourage you to do the same for your kids. So just like look and see, hey, you know what? I was on social media a whole bunch here, and this is like my anxiety journal. My anxiety went way up when I was scrolling Facebook or on Instagram or whatever. Well, guess what? You have complete control over that. So either you choose to take control and step in to help yourself and your family, or you just act like it's victim, which you are not. You can control how much time you're on there. And by all means, if you are on social media and you're starting to feel overwhelmed, or you sense that your mood drops, like throw your phone, like walk away from your computer, do something else. So check this out. So this is from the National Institute of Health estimates that kids spend an average of 5 to 7 hours a day using screens for entertainment, which is equal to or even greater than the total time in the classroom. This has increased 2.5 hours a day from just 10 years ago. So in 10 years, at 2.5 hours a day, it's 890 hours a year. 900 more hours a year that kids are on screens. The real danger is that surveys are showing that they also face more anxiety, depression, and other mental struggles than previous generations. There are a number of factors that might be contributing to this, but screen time is a major one, says Peggy Scallon. There are huge implications for youth. What aren't they doing when they're on the screens? What are they missing out on? So if you think about screen time, what could they be doing? Like, are they missing out on engaging with you, with their siblings, with friends, with doing chores, with creative expression, with reading a book? And instead what's happened is they're missing out on things, and they're now replacing it with the comparison game. Your child could be on the couch next to you being bullied because they're on their phone. So in their brain, they're in a safe environment, but that phone is creating an unsafe and an unstable environment for them. It's not healthy. And please recognize, moms and dads, you have control over it. Who is it? One of my friends was saying her daughter said, "You can't take my phone." And she was like, "I can't? Who said?" And she said, "Well, my friend said you can't take it." And so my friend said back to her daughter, "Well, you tell your friend I pay for your cell phone, and I 100% can take it away from you." So please be the parent here. Don't be the friend, and recognize that maybe they'll be a little bit upset with you, but you are protecting them. You're protecting them from the comparison game. You're protecting them from potentially being bullied. Kids may be bullied while sitting on the couch next to their parents. Around 91% of kids growing up today play video games. 91%. Kids who spend too much time playing video games at the detriment of other activities can also show signs of addiction. So can you imagine if the very fact that they're spending all of this time is going to lead to neurological pathways to increase the likelihood of addiction? You better stop it for them now. They're counting on you to protect them. All right, number 5, ask someone reliable to share number 5 is lead versus follow. Determine that you will help others. Seek to inspire and love one another, like one other person on a daily basis. So let's say right now you're like, "Barb, honestly, I am really struggling with anxiety." So my parents always taught me, when you're feeling down, do something for somebody else. It'll immediately boost your spirits. And I think part of the reason it makes us boost our spirits is like we stop worrying about our own problems, and we start loving on somebody else. We start seeing like there's a greater purpose for my life. If all we ever do is focus on ourselves, we'll for sure be depressed, because we're only looking at all of the things in our own life versus looking to help others. So if you or someone you know is struggling with anxiety, I encourage you today, make this one step. And that is every single day, purpose in your heart to seek someone else out, to love on them, inspire them, and let them know they matter. Remember that our greatest human need is to be understood. And therefore, the greatest thing that we can do for somebody else is to understand them. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy when you're depressed and you're experiencing anxiety, but it's two streets named hard. Anxiety and depression aren't either easy either. So what if this is your pathway out? What if that one commitment every single day to seek somebody else out, to love and inspire, is your ticket in order to step out of anxiety? What if it is? What if it is for a practice member? So seek specifically out somebody that you can love on and inspire. Number 6, focus on the things that you can control. And one of the things that we can control is you can control taking social media off your phone. Now, let's say that you've already justified in your mind, yeah, but that's how I stay in touch with my family. Pick up the phone, call them. Text them, use another resource, but that is not an excuse to be a slave to your phone. The other thing that you can control is when you do have anxiety, you can stop and get up. You can stop and do something different. Like you can 100% control your physical being. Like even just stand up and be grounded. Or if you're sitting and you feel anxious, like close your eyes and feel your feet on the ground. And when you feel your feet on the ground, then like move up your legs and feel your thighs. Move up your whole body and just get grounded. If that means you jump up and you get like in a squat position, that is also really going to help you, because then you can focus on something that you can control, and you can absolutely control your physical environment, and you can move yourself. We're going to get into in a couple minutes the importance of being outside, but that's another thing that you can do. Run outside. Run outside. All right, number 7, plan for what you can. It's kind of like, look at this situation and how much has changed since all of this started. Like originally it was, we're going to be on lockdown for, a month, and then it changed to longer. And then it was, wear masks, don't wear masks, wear gloves, don't wear gloves, go to work, don't go to work. So the things that you can for sure plan is your day. Like make sure that you stick with a schedule, that you still have a wake up time, that you still have meal time, that you still have a specific time with your kids and specific time in your practices. That schedule and that plan is so important to help with anxiety. This is also why it's really important for your practice members to be scheduling their visits in your office, and that you have systems in place to follow up with them. Do not let your systems be lax just because it's COVID time. So you still follow your systems. You still do your systems for success. You still do your daily success sheet. You still run your systems for first visit, second visit, extended consultation, re-exams. You still stay with your plan that leads to a healthy practice, and make sure that you do your plan at home. And remember to, when you're creating your own plan, is to focus on concrete things that you can problem solve and that you have control over changing. If it involves somebody else, just kind of be like, you know what, I don't have to deal with that right now. I can only control myself. And so create your own plan. Number 8 is the whole what ifs. Like, how do we stop the what ifs from spiraling out of control? And here it is. Number 1, stop, breathe, and simplify. As soon as your mind starts running and running and running and running and running and running and running, number 1, stop, breathe, and in the stop, in the breathe, get grounded. Like we just talked about a second ago, is get grounded. Get grounded with your feet, get grounded with your movement, get grounded, and then simplify. Like, what's the one step that I can take right now that will help me beat anxiety? And if that means that you put your 5 steps to beat anxiety on your phone, your top favorite ones, like when I'm anxious, all right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to do 3 breaths, and I'm going to simplify. And one of the ways in which I'm simplifying, I'm going to go outside. Or one of the ways in which I'm simplifying, whoever's around me, I'm going to grab them and give them a hug because that's going to stimulate oxytocin. Remember, you got to keep your hug on for 30 seconds to actually stimulate oxytocin and have the best results. But give yourself a plan. Give yourself an action plan. And I would encourage you, for your practice members who are struggling with anxiety, give them this 15 list and tell them to create their own plan of 5. When they become anxious, this is what you're going to do. Like the moment you get triggered, remember, trigger, physiology, thought, action, habit. So the second you get triggered, here's now your plan. And you can rewrite that programming. The best thing you can do for the world is to be healthy, physically, mentally, and spiritually. So remember that your plan has to include your own health and well-being. So check in with me. Is this helpful to all of you? Like, throw in the comment section, like, yeah, this is really helpful, or hey, this is my favorite way to beat anxiety. I'd love to hear from you and see in the comment section what's helping you beat anxiety. So listen to this, and I just posted this on my Facebook page. If you want to take it today, you're welcome to. The fact is that isolation, it weakens your immune system. All right, so my theory, well, you don't want to know about my theory about that. Part of this isolation is to weaken our immune system so that more people get infected, and hence they can push the vaccine more. Sitting on your couch all day, it weakens your immune system. Excessive amounts of hand sanitizer weakens your immune system by killing your microbiome. Maxine says, I love counting my breath in, hold, then exhale. And remember when we exhale, when I did a quantum meditation at Soul Purpose with Demi, one of the things she really emphasizes, when you exhale, like your exhale actually needs to be bigger than your inhale. And if you think about a balloon, right? And you blew up this balloon and then you just kind of let it run on its own. You know how it always has that little bit at the bottom, which looks like an old boob? Well, when you exhale, you want to really squeeze it all out. So you're getting rid of that old stale air. And I just think of when I'm stressed out, exhaling away the stuff I don't want. Like I'm breathing it out. I'm getting rid of it. I'm purposefully pushing it all out of my body. And man, I just feel so much stronger and so much better when I do that, because again, I'm taking control. I'm saying I can do this. My brain can tell my body what to do, and I can be strong in this moment. This is Charlie says, this is really helpful. I enjoy walks outside to help with anxiety, especially when the weather is nice and the wind is blowing. Right? I mean, just lean in and wait till I give you all of the tips. And Jen Wida is the one that gave this article to me, and I'll share it with all of you too. The tips that help, the benefits of being outside. Okay, lack of fresh air and sunshine, it weakens your immune system. Lack of exposure to germs weakens your immune system. Yes, use common sense and proper hygiene. Sedentary lifestyle weakens your immune system, and it doesn't take that long. Sugar weakens your immune system. Lack of vitamins and nourishment weakens your immune system. These are the facts. This is just human biology 101. Our bodies need to be in harmony and balance with the bacteria and virus in nature to build immunity. This is known as the human virome, which is made up of 380 trillion viruses we have been exposed to over the past 200,000 years. So we don't have to be afraid of a virus. Our bodies need to be our immune system needs to keep up and be in balance with ever-changing, mutating germs. Do you put your faith in a spoonful of medicine that has been around for 2 months, or the power that has been animating this earth for eons? Nicholas Froling. So I just encourage all of you, and that's why I said at the very beginning, what are you certain of? I'm certain that a body that is subluxated will not be well. You can't convince me otherwise. So that's another part of your certainty that I would encourage you to write down. All right, so we ended with 8, which was your what ifs. And let's talk about the what ifs in another way. So deep breathing, as well as in taking care of yourself. obviously make sure that you're still getting adjusted, that you're getting checked and adjusted. And something so simple as a hug, like a long hug, getting them yourself and giving them. So remember that oxytocin, it's produced in the hypothalamus and it's secreted by the pituitary gland. It is oxytocin, dopamine, and serotonin, often referred to as our happy hormones. When you're attracted to another person, your brain releases dopamine. Your serotonin levels increase and oxytocin is produced. This causes you to feel a surge of positive emotion. Again, something that you can control. You can control hugging somebody in your family. Now, hopefully that includes your spouse. Even if you don't like them today, do it for you. Like, get a 30-second hug because it's going to stimulate your oxytocin. And then guess what? You're going to have a positive surge of emotion, which is going to improve your relationship. Again, you have so much control. You have so much control over your life. Don't give it up. Remember that oxytocin has a positive impact on social behaviors. And this is also why it's so important to resist the temptation to withdraw and to retreat. Oxytocin stimulates relaxation, trust, and overall psychological stability. The hormone has also been shown to decrease stress and anxiety levels when released in certain parts of the brain. It also helps your body better adapt to a number of emotional and social situations. So I really encourage you to take control and to do the easy things. Don't look for things to be hard. Remember, stop, breathe, and simplify. Oxytocin promotes bonding. Human and animal studies on the effects of oxytocin on the mother-child bond have found that mothers with high levels are more likely to engage in affectionate parenting behaviors. So listen, right now during COVID, when a lot of people are really stressed out, I've also talked to moms who feel like they're withdrawing from their kids because they're so stressed out. Well, listen, you can change that. And make sure that you're aware of that with your new mamas as well, that this high level of stress may be causing them to retreat from their children. So hugging, getting outside, like all of this to reduce anxiety so that they can be bonding with their child. It's frequent, like when oxytocin is higher, we check on our babies. We do affectionate touching with our children. We may be singing to them or speaking in a certain way. There's grooming and bathing behaviors. So it's really important to tell them, even if you don't feel like it, please engage in those behaviors, and spending more time with your spouse or your partner and increases oxytocin. So please check in on your new mamas and let them know that they can be in control. And these are ways in which they can stimulate oxytocin. Number 9, make it a priority to stay in touch with friends and family. Don't withdraw from your friends and family. Now, the side note to that is if they are toxic to you, then love them at a distance, but don't bring that into your circle. And if you're sitting back and you're like, well, no one is really reaching out to me, no one is really checking in on me, well, then you take the first step. You have control. You have control. And it's kind of like right now, I was thinking about a boot camper I haven't talked to in a while, and I texted her the other day and she never responded to me about a week ago. And then I texted her a few days ago and I didn't hear from her. And I'm like sitting here going, I wonder what's going on. I'm like, well, pick up the phone and call her. It's a really simple way to solve the thoughts that I have. And same thing here. Be concerned and you take the lead. You take the lead to produce what you want in your life. It's kind of like, maybe you're at odds with your spouse right now. Take the lead to make it better. Even just hug them. Oh, but I can't stand them right now. Okay, well, do you want oxytocin to be released in your body because it's good for you and therefore it's good for your children? Yes. Okay, then hug them. Do it for you. Don't do it for them. Do it for you. Number 10, don't let the coronavirus dominate every conversation. There's so many other things that we can talk about. And, one of the things I would encourage you guys to do is look at the other Yes, action conquers fear. Action conquers fear. We do not think our way out of fear. We conquer fear by taking all in massive action. So I would encourage you, it's important to take breaks from the stressful stuff, and also to really find things that you enjoy. Maybe now is a great time to start a book club. Maybe now is a great time to start a like a walking club. And it can be as simple as, all right, everybody. So on Monday nights, grab your phone. We are all going to head out at 6:00 and go for a walk. Wherever you are, let's go for a walk. Or in my community, let's meet at the middle school parking lot, and we'll practice our social distancing, but we can all walk there and encourage one another and smile with one another and give the air high five. But let's be together. So, Barb, it just sounds so hard. Compared to what? It's hard compared to what? To being miserable? It's hard compared to being anxious? I don't think so. It's taking action, building your community, and being a leader. So remember, a leader casts vision, creates culture, and holds accountable. So create a club, a physical club. Maybe it's it could be a physical goal, like, hey, let's all work this month on being able to do 10 squats a day. Or I don't know if you guys saw the burpee challenge years ago. It was you add one burpee per day. And if you didn't do then you would start with one burpee today, and then tomorrow you would do 2, and then the next day you would do 3, and the next day 4. So you're working up to it. Well, what if instead of a burpee, what if it's start with a squat, and you do 1 squat today, then 2 squats tomorrow, then 3, and it may not sound like much to begin with, but in 40 days, you're doing 40 squats, and the day before you did 39. It's a huge improvement probably over what you've done in the past. So you can start a physical challenge club, burpees, squats. What about doing a cartwheel again? Let's all get to the point where in a month we can do a cartwheel. So be creative and solve your challenges publicly. That will help with your anxiety. Who are your peeps? Make sure you reach out to them and look to others for support. There's no shame in asking for help. I think the cool thing about asking for help when we do it, it signals to those that we're asking for help, I trust you. It signals like you can help me. And we all feel better when we're helping people. So when you reach out and ask for help, recognize you're making an impact in somebody else's life, because now they get to step up. It's a great gift. So please reach out to your peeps. Number 12, make sure you remember the regular stress management strategies, right? So A, chiropractic adjustments. B, be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Say nice things to you. C, maintain a routine as best you can. D, take time out for activities that you enjoy. Remember MF3, me, family, future, and fun. What's something fun that is going to make you laugh? The next one, get out in nature as much as possible. So check this out. Being outdoors. Here are, and thanks to Jen Wida for this one, 11 benefits of being outdoors. I didn't even know some of these. Number 1, being outdoors boosts your energy. One study suggests that spending 20 minutes in the open air gives your brain an energy boost comparable to a cup of coffee. Number 2, it feels easier to exercise outdoors. Can I get an amen on that one? I love being outside. And I do really well on the weekends being outside, and during the week, not so much. And I just constantly remind myself, get outside. It feels so much better. And working up a sweat when you're outside. I personally love functional fitness, like cutting wood and hauling branches. And we've got some concrete stuff we have to do outside today. And that just feels really good. Are those posted somewhere? I'm going to give you guys all of these notes. I have to make them a little bit prettier, but I'll give you all of these notes, and it will have all of the links that I'm referring to. Would that be helpful, Chris? Number 3, the outdoors is good for your vision. Research shows that elementary school students who spend more time outdoors are less likely to develop nearsightedness. Number 4, natural sunlight helps mitigate pain. Number 5, the outdoors boost your immune system. Scientists think that breathing in phytoncides, airborne chemicals produced by plants, increases our levels of white blood cells, helping us fight off infections and diseases. So check this out. If we go up one, Kim said, stacking wood is one of my favorites. I know, right? I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with this. I love stacking wood. I think it's so fun. Actually, on Saturday, we fell a bunch of trees here in Alaska. We have a terrible beetle problem, and so it has killed a lot of our spruce. They're spruce beetles, which is what led to 9,000 wildfires last year here in Alaska. So we fell a bunch of those trees, and they were just kind of like all out on our property. And so my job was to hook up to each one of them and pull them to like where my husband is going to buck them up with the four-wheeler. And it was really, really fun, actually. And now we have to split it and stack it. So Kim, I'll make sure I take a picture and send it to you when I'm stacking that wood. All right. So just look at this. Like if you started a walking club, then you're helping people get exercise. You're getting exercise. You're able to be in community with them, and they're outside, which helps increase their levels of white blood cells to fight infection and disease. Number 6, the outdoors provides you with free aromatherapy. Research shows that natural scents like roses, freshly cut grass, and pine make you feel calmer and more relaxed. Number 7, the outdoors enhances creativity. If you're struggling with writer's block, you might want to ditch your laptop for the great outdoors. Number 8, the outdoors helps with seasonal affective disorder. Number 9, being outdoors gives you your daily dose of vitamin D. We all know the benefits of vitamin D. Number 10, the outdoors restores your focus. Can't concentrate at work? Leave your office for a few minutes and go stroll in a nearby park. Studies show that walking in nature helps restore our focus. Number 11, the outdoors makes us better people. According to psychologists, exposure to nature helps us shrug off societal pressures, allowing us to remember and value the important things like relationships, sharing, and community. Amazing list of benefits of being outdoors. And I love to see chiropractors who during this COVID time for social distancing, they're taking their tables and went outside and they're adjusting outside. I think that's awesome. So you're getting the benefit, these 11 benefits of being outside, not to mention they're also getting adjusted. All right. So number 13 out of our 15, avoid self-medicating. So that can come in the form of obviously over-the-counter and prescription drugs. It can come in the form of recreational drugs. It can come in the form of drinking too much. So you just know you, and if you sense it's a problem, it's probably a problem. I encourage you to ask for help. And a really great substitute for that is the Serenaquil. So you can see how you can get Serenaquil for yourself or your practice members so that self-medication is hopefully not on your radar or theirs. Number 14, help others. It will make you feel better. At times like this, it's easy to get caught up in our own fears. But it's really just, there's, how many of you feel like the same with me? When I'm helping other people, not really thinking about my own problems. Do you guys agree? When I'm focused on serving others and helping them, I'm not as worried and worried about what I'm not getting in my life. I'm worried and moving forward with them. I'm taking action for them. So help others by organizing activities for them once a week. Like maybe on Mondays, if you guys did a walking club, right? Then during the walking club, you could let them know like, hey, so let's all meet together for the walking club. And I encourage you on Thursday, I'm going to put out a fun activity for your family to do on the weekend. And then what's a fun activity? Aaron Jacobs and I did a whole bunch of them on a Facebook Live earlier this year. If you'd like to see it, just let me know. And during this COVID thing, we came up with all kinds of fun family activities. And Dr. Chelsea Rainey and I, 2 weeks ago on this very webinar, it was how to keep your family healthy, safe, and together during COVID. Tons of ideas of keeping families safe as well. So really, even like do-it-yourself soaps or do-it-yourself detergents, things like that for making life a little bit easier for you and your family and healthier. If somebody else can make soap and that's something you and your family would enjoy doing, you can too. Like maybe even teach them to go and look to do experiments. There's all kinds of homeschool experiments that you can do online that make it really fun. Perhaps that's it. Maybe as a family, they read a book together. Maybe as a family, they go and donate at food banks. Maybe as a family, they reach out in their community. One of the things, depending on how long this goes on, my husband and I are going to do is to buy American flags and put them at the end of everyone's driveway in our small community. We have about 40 homes in our tiny little subdivision. And we did 2 weekends in a row. We did bonfires and invited our friends and our neighbors to come and have a bonfire with us. And it was really amazing. It was so fun and everyone had a great time and stayed really late, and it was pretty easy to have. So reach out to others. And then my favorite thing that I do for anxiety is I pray and read scripture. So number 15 is the most powerful. And so I just have some really powerful verses for all of you. Philippians 4:6-7 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." 1 Peter 5:7, "Casting all your anxiety on him because he cares for you." Philippians 4:13, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." That's what I always say before I do public speaking. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. John 14:27, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." 2 Timothy 1:7, "For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and love and self-control." So fear doesn't come from God. I'm just saying. Joshua 1:9, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go." Just a couple more. Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." Proverbs 3:5-6, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths." Isaiah 41:10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So I hope that this has been helpful today for you to beat anxiety as well. I hope that is going to give you a platform to be able to help your practice members. Anxiety is a big topic and one that I don't see fading away anytime in the near future. So know that I will get this PDF out to you. I will work really hard to get it done today so that you would be able to download it. If you will, Charlotte says, yes, Jeremiah 29:11 is one of my favorite. I know, right? Very cool. And Chris gave me a heart back to you. And please do, when I give you this PDF, share it. Share it with your practice members. Share it on social media. Like, I created this for all of us. And it would be my absolute joy to know that you are using it to inspire yourself and others. So God bless you all today. Thanks so much for joining me. Next week, I don't remember the topic, but you will get a message about it as soon as this one ends today, about what is our next one. So we also have a special offer coming out for those of you who are really ready to take your leadership and the next move after COVID-19 to a new level. So you're going to want to watch for that too, and then take immediate action. All right, all of you, have a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.